the characteristics, the traits, the behaviors that we develop in childhood to survive our environments. And again, if you're listening and you're thinking my childhood really wasn't that bad, this is not applicable. I hear you, but also because we all experience some level of trauma and some covert messages that we all receive that are not ideal. There are still going to be some messages you carry with you into adulthood. And so we have to understand that whether it was on one end of the spectrum or the other or somewhere in the middle, we did learn how to survive our environments. Humans are designed for adaptation. We have to learn how to survive. And so these traits that we developed for survival, whether it was to withdraw or to isolate when there was conflict, whether it was to fawn and people please, to be a perfectionist, to get attention, to get acceptance, that is what we learned kept us safe. And so we carry those behaviors with us into adulthood. And what was once adaptive becomes maladaptive in our romantic relationships. And so while it was once effective to withdraw, to isolate, that is now preventing you from really having the intimacy that we all desire, even if we realize it or not. We do desire that connection. And so those traits that once kept us safe are now actually preventing us from getting the very thing that we desire.
And step one goes back to week one, which was, it's probably time to work with somebody now. So now that, you become aware that this has kind of been the thing holding you back or preventing you from getting to where you want to go. Well, there's a million people out there and a million different modalities that can help people work out of these inner child wounds, as I like to call them, and help you step into a system that'll be better for you in your adult life that you want. And that's the thing, right? Like, you'll talk to some people, and you and I both probably know folks like this, but like, come on, you want more intimacy in your life. And they'll be like, no, I'm good. I got enough intimacy. Things are good. My intimacy bucket's full. But I don't know. I sort of call bullshit on those guys. And I'm thinking, really? You don't want to be a little closer? Like, a little? I don't know. What do you think?
I think that ties into the fears of intimacy and the intimacy self-sabotaging. And I have a client I was working with recently, and he was talking about that he can't even allow himself to have a need, because heaven forbid he ever had a need. And by not allowing himself to have a need, because this was programmed into childhood that needs were not okay, they were not going to be met, it was not safe to have one, he's now brought that into his romantic relationship. So he would fall into the category that you're describing of like, no, I'm good, I'm fine. But that we all have needs. Humans are literally designed for connection with one another. And part of being connected is having your needs met. And if you can't even acknowledge that you have a need because of your programming, it's easy as an adult to be like, nah, look how adapted I am, how evolved I am. But odds are you really just haven't gone below the surface.
And it's also worth noting, at least from my perspective, that this isn't just messing up one area of your life. Like, this relational programming infiltrates everything. How you operate at the office, how you operate with your friends, how you operate with strangers, how you operate with your kids. I mean, it falls into all the areas of your life.
Yeah. And it's so true, because it's the lens through which we see the world. So Mathew, if you have blue lenses on and I have pink lenses on, we might be looking at the same tree, but we're looking at it completely differently because of the lens through which we're viewing. And so that is important to note, that, perspective is reality. And if you're operating out of a warped perspective, then you're going to ultimately have these warped outcomes, or be stuck in the cycle and saying like, I'm doing the same thing over and over, or the same thing continues to happen over and over. Why do I keep attracting the same people? Why do my partner and I keep having the same arguments? It's the lens through which you're seeing the world.